Welcome to Retro Sports Gamer Channel. I'm Tim Kittrow from NBA Jam and Mutant Football League, NFL Blitz, and a few other games. Boom shakalaka! Kaboom!
It's happening tonight. 989 Sports. Their first football game on the PlayStation 2 was their NFL Gameday series, the 2001 game. How did it hold up against Madden 2001 at the time that had the striking visuals? I didn't play this one back then, but we have it now. Gameday 2001. I'm here with Matt. We're going to play it and explore this one and see what it's all about. Where's the game cover?
Where is the game cover, you ask? It's right here, Tom.
Here it is. Gameday 2001. Bought this for 99 cents. So really the big reason I didn't play this one was just I was in awe by Madden 2001 graphics, and I thought it played really well for the time.
989 Studios still exists in a capacity under the name Sony Computer Entertainment San Diego.
Well, I don't know exactly how they've reorganized throughout the years, but Sony still makes
One
the
sports
show.
game.
Yeah. MLB The Show. How's it going, Antonio?
What's up?
All right, so we're going to play 4 minutes. Last time we did Madden 97, we did 3, but there was a lot of passing. I think we could probably do more running in this one.
I can guarantee you this game is a better game than that.
Yeah, so the cover athlete is Marshall Faulk, as you see him on the screen there. So let's head over to the team. So typically I pick the Bears, but I'm not doing it this time. So if you are watching and you have a request, I'll hold out for a few minutes for that. The Lions don't have Barry Sanders at this time. I think he retired the year before.
This is the year that Dante Culpepper was really good. Next year he was on Madden cover, right?
Yes. Culpepper, Moss. Vic is a rookie, not in this game. In 2002 games, he's a rookie.
So if nobody requests a team from me, I'm gonna be the Vikings. Because I want Dante Culpepper.
I'm going with the Steelers. If no one's requesting.
Is that Cordell Stewart? Or
Cordell, Flash.
I mean, I clearly have the better team in this matchup.
Yeah, it looks like special teams, offense, your defense isn't better though.
It's not like defense wins championships, Tom.
It definitely does. The Steelers have a culture of defense. We're going to show you right now what it's all about.
I'm going to show you Randy Moss getting aired out to all game.
You know what? They didn't even have, YouTube didn't even have this as a selection, Gameday 2001. They only had Gameday 2000 and then 2004. It was like they didn't even program this in their database.
It's lost time.
We're making sure it doesn't get lost in time. This is the Retro Sports League where we keep the standings for the games we play all year. We have a championship at the beginning of January. This year, it's confirmed. It's January 4th at Demon Tap in Chicago.
Is that a Saturday?
It is a Saturday. It's a free tournament for anyone who played in the league or follows the channel. You just let us know we're coming. We're available on the Discord.
We're playing 5 different games at that tournament, right?
Playing 5 different games. For sure, Tecmo Super Bowl NES, NHL 94 Sega Genesis, NFL Blitz on
N64.
N64, RBI Baseball, NES. NBA Jam is still up in the air which version we're going to play.
I
So
hope
it's
it's
snowing.
the version you were telling me about earlier.
Yes, I did hear about Coppa Antonio Wilson. I don't know how it would affect my channel since I said that this channel is not for kids. And I don't know what kids are going to be watching old sports games, so I don't know if it will hurt it or not. Like, you know, half, I wouldn't say half, but when we do the Monday night streams, they're definitely not for kids because it's a bunch of guys hanging out at a bar playing video games. There's swearing, different things going on. When we do these more, I guess, controlled environment streams in the house, I mean, kids could watch them, but I just said that the channel's not for kids across the board, so.
Well, I mean, when you and I are talking to each other, we don't
Hit
typically
X.
swear very much. But, you know, it just comes out in anger sometimes.
So what I'm hoping to get from this game is that it plays like the PlayStation Gameday games, and it obviously already looks better. So I'm saying if it's got those two things, this might actually be a pretty good game.
This snow effect is kind of weak for me because it's clearly just like a filter in front of the screen and it's not actually happening in 3D environment.
Yes. Well, you know, it's the first game on the PlayStation 2 for them, so, you know, they can't pull out all the stops right away. But that's kind of why they lost the battle. I really like this play selection screen. It's clean, very clean.
Culpepper brings the offense to the line of scrimmage here in the first.
Ooh, icons are underneath the players. Did not catch that right away, and that's why I got tackled there.
I think that's how it's always been. So Antonio, what do you think of the Coppa thing on YouTube?
What is that? Can you fill me in on that?
Basically, the federal government is stepping in and saying that, well, YouTube actually got fined millions. I think that it's been reported 160 to 180 million because they were collecting data on kids watching habits on YouTube. And you're not supposed to do that under federal law. So they got fined, but now they're putting it on the YouTube channels and creators to designate videos.
Wow, the release is not as fast as I would.
Either for kids or not. D-Dubs 124 saying he played the 2000-2005 version on PlayStation. Yeah, and that was, the PlayStation ones were where they were at their best. I always bring up Gameday 98 as the one that looked the best and played the best, and then later on other games caught up. Are you punting?
Yup.
It's a boomer.
That was a really generous receiving catch. Did you see how far the X was?
Yeah. What's up, Lamont Crockett? How's it going? So, yeah, the one thing I like about this play selection screen is not only does it have that blue in the background, but it highlights all the different players a different color. So like the quarterback's red, the receivers, so you could easily see what players are going to be going out where. I really like that.
I like that. The thing I have an issue with is on offense, you're at top. On defense, you're at the bottom. But that's the opposite of what you are on the field.
Let me see this multiplayer cam.
It just does not make sense to me.
Okay, this is a little bit better. It's not as zoomed in.
Minnesota, hold everything. Somebody drop some
Antonio
ball,
Wilson, well, the channels are geared towards kids are going to get the biggest hit of Coppa. I guess it just depends on. I'm trying to think about what channels would be for kids and not for kids. It's kind of, I don't know. Rock with a K. I just bought Gameday 2004 and 2003 for the PS2. That's cool. Yeah, I have 2004 over here, not 2003.
I would like to see where this evolved to.
Jerome Bettis, the bus.
So
Hold
far,
on, real quick.
the visuals are good.
Yeah, the visuals are good. They weren't as good as Madden 2004.
The linemen look more arcadey than, like they're almost like blitz players.
You can use the analog stick in this.
Stewart lines up in the shotgun.
Still feels very much like a Game Day game on the PlayStation when you're passing, which isn't a bad thing.
So a cool thing that I just recognized, on defense, to switch to each player, I think they're like X's are, you can cycle through those, triangle cycles through the linebackers, then circle cycles through the linemen.
Okay. So yes, I'm looking through the booklet. Trivia time.
Or I'm wrong.
Who's the cover athlete of 2003? Ooh.
Actually, I might have been wrong about that.
Boom! 2003 cover. Let me see. So it was Marshall Faulk for Madden. Marshall Faulk's on this one for Game Day. Madden curse sets in. That's a good question. We'll say, I don't know, Randy Moss?
Stewart goes to the pass on first down. It looks like the defense is content to give up the
Cordell Stewart dropping dimes so far. If you guys follow the New York Football Giants, the rookie Daniel Jones. Calls himself Danny Dimes, or trademarked it. He didn't call himself that, but they are kind of average, but they're not bad at all. And the passing is very easy. It's like how I remember the Game Day on the PlayStation. I already said that, but they run a route, they go to it. If they're open, you're probably going to hit them.
To try the extra point. There are no extra points. They all count. Steelers.
So here's the booklet, just in case you want to know some of the buttons. Speed burst is X, spin move circle, catch triangle.
Palmer hovering near the end zone, waiting for the kickoff.
Sounds good.
Brown kicks it deep.
Palmer gets taken down. I don't know how to necessarily run with the quarterback, but yeah, all the buttons are pretty standard. Square is dive. Triangle is intercept. X speed burst.
Will rush 4 this time. Smith receives the pitch.
Boom! Tackling's pretty good too. Yes, Danny Dimes, the fans call him that. Yes, the fans called him that, and he trademarked it. That's right, D-Dubs.
So the player movement is slower than Madden. That's one thing I would say is notable about this.
The QB Club games, yes, we have played them. We have streamed the Quarterback Club Challenge a few times already. That's what we play that game mostly for, not the actual football.
A lot of that is lost inside of really long demon tap streams. Are you noticing that the player movement's a little bit slower than Madden? Or is that just me?
Well, I haven't played that game in probably months. Because we did play last year in a tournament. There you go. That wasn't too hard, Randy Moss. You know, I would be mad about that, but that's really how it kind of happened.
Well, as soon as he caught the ball, I pressed X and he blew your cornerback away.
Oh, yes, I have streamed NFL Blitz Pro on the Xbox before, so I have played it. I gave my opinions on it. I do like that game. That was one of those games when it came out, it's like you're kind of wondering what Midway is doing, coming out with a game that's more simulation-like when they're known for the arcade sports games. But there's no game like it because it was geared to be more like simulation, but it plays very arcade-like, and it's a fun game. So for anyone that has an Xbox or PS2, I don't know if it's on the GameCube or not, that game's a fun one to pick up. And it's probably the last one that they had that had the NFL license.
I would say it's likely on the GameCube. Midway still likes to support the GameCube. They didn't completely back out of it like a lot of publishers.
Well, Midway
all the
was
money they could
huge
get.
on Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
One thing I really like about this, looking at the advanced offense, you can actually pitch the ball lateral if you hit L2 and R2. That was one thing about the Madden games that always frustrated me, that you couldn't... What the heck was that? You couldn't actually lateral the ball.
The ball carrier gets the yardage on his stat sheet, but I bet the offensive line coach is smiling because he knows his boys deserve the credit. Front five of the bedrock.
I think it's pretty funny that there's no players on the sideline where the teams would be, but they still have the setup. So it just looks like everybody's on the field.
The short toss is complete.
It is a good point.
That's it. Just like that, baby.
Cordell's pumped up.
The defender thought he had help over the top, or if he just got beat. But that's a huge play by the offense.
Rock with the K saying, I was sad the NCAA games never came out for N64. That's a good point. They did have the basketball game, the Fox Sports College Hoops, but no NCAA on the N64.
Minnesota must have expected that play. They stacked up the middle and they brought it. You're right. No weakness in the middle of the defense there.
I don't know if I've actually missed a pass yet.
It doesn't feel like it.
That's one thing. Yeah, 100% for Cordell right now. That one I kind of lollipopped up there too.
Yeah, and there were two guys right by him.
In emotion.
Oh, there you go. The easiest pass he had.
I didn't know I picked that play.
Stewart calling signals from the shotgun.
Oh, Ward, you got to get in there.
We're halfway through the second
Mine's
quarter.
Ward.
I'd say that the pacing of this game is good. It's definitely better than that last Madden game that we played.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, I can definitely say though without a doubt, like Madden is better.
Well,
Like on parity of that Madden versus this game, just based off of animation and player movement.
yeah, but if you go into a game, you gotta keep in mind it's a video game, and what's more fun? Completing passes.
I'll give you that.
It's so the thing about Madden, which to its credit, if guys are off balance trying to throw, they'll most likely throw that pass off. It won't be on target. In this game so far, pretty much wherever your quarterback is, he's throwing it right where it needs to be for these receivers. So it's on the defense to come up there and make a play, which the defensive AI is not doing it. So after that bomb you just threw to Randy Moss, I got to be careful. And this game definitely didn't deserve for me never to play it. Back when it was relevant.
I'm surprised that you never went to Blockbuster and rented this game.
It's just there's so much competition when you feel like you have the best game. You just don't care.
I mean, Madden was the first game you played on the PlayStation 2.
Yes, that was. I remember played it launch day at my friend Darren's house. I reserved it too, but I didn't get it till a week later. But he got it on launch day, and to his credit, he actually invited us over to play it the day it came out. And at that time, PlayStation 2 coming out was a huge deal.
I think it was actually the first time I ever went over to Darren's was to see the PlayStation 2.
It was like a magic device.
I'm sure we had pizza too.
See that one, triple coverage. I had my linebacker back there. I don't know what else I can do. Didn't manage the clock. Oh, they have trivia at halftime.
I like that.
What lineman was selected as the #1 draft pick in 1997 by the St. Louis Rams? Orlando Pace.
Wow.
Guy was a stud. He's one of the few linemen I probably know that wasn't on the Bears.
I really got a piece, so I'm glad that these halves go quickly. Had a lot of water and coffee.
What'd you do on your first drive?
I was learning the game still. And it seems like your D-line's getting in pretty quickly on me. Even after I understood how to play. So, on that first drive, I just got nailed every single time. I got pushed back all the way to the end zone.
What a force Plaxico Burress is. Just throw the ball up, he'll go get it for you.
I did notice that they had a arcade option. And I'm kind of curious to know what that means to them. Because you could play simulation or arcade. I don't know if that just means they eliminate penalties. But honestly, there hasn't been any. Except
the penalties were on low. It lets you set the penalties.
Pettis in the backfield. Stewart is going to throw here.
Let you get in. So there is a good chance that the D-line does come in, like you said. Good defense.
That was the first time I actually felt like I was doing something on defense.
Yeah, you did exactly what you had to do there. I'm going for it.
Oh, a gutsy call. They're going for it on 4th down.
Wide open.
Stewart with a laser shot
Hines
there.
Ward.
When you've got an athlete like that on your team, get the rock to him any way you can. Great grab. 5th play on this drive.
See, that time was out of position. He actually threw it way off. So there is some of that in this too. It's good to see. Yeah, I've played some NFL Fever. We actually played that on New Year's Eve a couple years ago. It has a weird control scheme if you don't change it, where I believe they want you to press buttons to catch the ball or something like that. I guess
play this game.
Yeah, you played it. I guess the idea was that it gives you more control to the player, but actually it just makes it really hard to play. So you could switch it to easier controls, but when we were playing it, we didn't know it. Whitman, no one's there.
I think I remember playing that.
Doing a little boogie.
Oh yeah, on the Xbox. I remember now.
What do you think's better, Antonio, this game or NFL Fever?
Brown for the extra point attempt.
So an Xbox developed game versus, or a Microsoft developed game versus a Sony developed game.
Yeah. I know one thing's for sure. Like, Fever looks cool and had a lot of good things about it. This one's way easier as a pick up and play type game.
I would agree with that. I remember struggling a lot when we played Fever.
I was struggling too.
And I think even after we figured out how to catch the ball, it was still hard.
When you're a retro sports gamer like myself, you really don't want to practice to get really good at it, like practice to even know how to play. You want to know how to play and then practice to get good at it. Not practice just to get the hang of the basics.
I mean, that's what makes a game more approachable in general.
Antonio Wilson says, I'll say Fever, just slightly though.
Minnesota takes over 1st and 10.
Missed it. We are seeing incompletions here in the second half.
Of course, it's on my end.
Yeah, you think you could just chuck up and do anything.
I can do anything better.
Oh, I was up there for it. Still going for that first user pick.
That one actually looked really sticky. Like, the ball went through your hands, and it didn't look like the trajectory was going near my receiver, and it popped in his hands.
There could be some of that going on.
Culpepper from the shotgun. Culpepper
Randy Moss touchdown. What?
That's right. I broke up the pass. It was. Antonio Wilson says, I think Fever has better player models. That I would agree with.
Oh, what I was saying, these players almost look like the blitz players, especially the linemen. They're just like super beefy.
Pass rushers on this play. Culpepper will throw for 2nd down.
You see what we're used to playing though. Tecmo Super Bowl obviously doesn't look better than any of these games. So to me,
I think
like, something that plays better is something that I'm more willing to play often.
I don't know if that's necessarily a truthful statement.
What?
Saying that it doesn't look better, because that's all up to the person viewing it. If they
Well, I
think.
mean, you're just talking about graphics.
I would say that pixel art holds up a lot better than 3D models from this generation.
Not this generation. The generation before was rough. Oh no!
Hit him! I wish we could hear what you're saying.
It's tough to break up those bombs at Randy Moss.
That was some good animation in the face.
Yeah, he had his mouth moving and everything.
Crap.
I would say these players, they actually
come on, he was wide open.
They actually look a little bit like their actual guy they're supposed to be, whereas the Madden game in 2001 didn't really.
Yeah.
They're pretty generic faces. I mean, they're the right skin tone and everything, but it has to be tough to put in all this effort for a next-gen game and just get smoked by your competition when you really didn't make a poor game. The thing I like about this 2001 is it plays like a game day. I keep saying it. Player movement is good. I think it's good. It's very sharp.
The one thing I'll say about this is I remember when we were playing that Madden tournament and how long the games were taking. This is not taking nearly as long as those games. This is actually a really good pace for this game.
The thing is, too, when you are able to complete most of the passes, the clock keeps moving.
Yeah. But I mean, what, we've been streaming for 30 minutes, so about 20 minutes now, almost going into the fourth quarter.
What differentiates Madden from Gameday? Well, there's quite a few things. Madden player models look better. We pretty much agreed on that. The passing physics are better on Madden as far as like the quarterback throwing it off. This game, it's pretty easy to complete passes, but there is still some type of physics where the quarterback will throw it off if he's off balance. Do it to the wrong guy there. What else is different between the two? I would say the sound overall is probably better in Madden. This one's still pretty generic. And even the animations of the quarterback throwing the ball isn't really that. It doesn't look that good in this one.
On every level of animation and character models, this game does not look as good as Madden. But the thing that I'm feeling about this is the gameplay might be more fun.
Oh, I moved him. Yeah, the gameplay is very fluid for guys just picking it up, playing this version for the first time. It's fun to pick up and play football game. So I notice if you hit the joystick when the ball's in the air, that's when you start missing passes. Hines Ward.
Interesting.
That's probably what happened on your 2-point conversion. But we also said too that the players look more like it looks like they put effort in for the players to look like their actual selves, whereas Madden's just they basically match skin tones, at least on the first game.
It seems like Madden might spend a lot more time trying to replicate what a broadcast looks like than this game. And I think I prefer it not to do that as much. Like all the interstitial, like between the plays crap. I don't need that. Like I just want to keep playing as quickly as possible because the pacing of football is so slow anyway. Like I don't want to have to stare at that for so long.
Yeah, that in between stuff gets annoying. Like they're like, oh look it, we're showing this flashy cutscene.
Like if you notice, every time something pops up at the end of the play, it just says X to huddle, and I feel like in Madden it's not as fluid as this.
This game gets it flowing. That's for sure.
And even after the huddle, I can press X to hurry up my players, and it reminds you that every time.
On the PlayStation, from what I remember, they didn't really have. Oh, that's a hit. They didn't really have announcers in Gameday, and in this they do. So they added that, I believe. I think they just had the PA announcer. If I'm remembering that correctly, I know Shootout, NBA Shootout was like that.
Smith in the backfield. Culpepper to throw on first down.
Oh boy. That's another touchdown.
Burned him.
Touchdown.
He did his basketball shot. That's something he would have actually celebrated.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah, Matt said that earlier, Antonio. There's no players on the sidelines. And personally, do I care about that? No, but
that's the thing
in a generation where you're trying to have the most realistic looking game for the time, it is a big knock. But as someone who's just playing a football game, I don't care who's on the sidelines. But they sure put in some effort to have those Gatorade coolers there. The Big Moss. Or Big Boss Moss, says Toasty Domain. That's right. He's got what, 3 touchdowns in this game? At least 2 bombs.
I want on the sideline just one person, and it's one of the players' moms with the after the game snack.
Oh yeah, like they used to do those Campbell soup commercials.
Yeah. Who was the athlete's mom? Was it Singletary and his mom?
There was a few of them, but I remember the most of those being Donovan McNabb.
Oh yeah, it was McNabb. I wonder if that was actually his mom or not.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Minnesota deploying the prevent defense.
Just want to see if I can run with the quarterback.
He's spinning.
He's spinning. He's pumped. And really, the quarterback, because Cordell's a faster quarterback, you know, they call him Flash. He pretty much has his speed running with the ball. You don't have to press anything to like pull it down with the quarterback, which I like. Oh no.
Yes.
I definitely don't want to hit the joystick when the ball's up in the air, because then that happens.
Do you take control of the receiver at that point?
Yeah, you do.
The facial animation in this game is impressive for this being like their first attempt.
Yeah, they are moving their faces around. They are showing expression. I see what you're trying to do here.
Do you?
Yeah, you're trying to go deep to Randy Moss every time.
No.
You know you got Chris Carter on the team too.
I did realize that.
He's not going to burn me, though, like Randy Moss.
Yeah, if Moss gets the ball and I'm in front of you, it's over.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh, Steelers made him pay for that catch. Does the flip.
That's a rare sight in the NFL these days, Dick. A receiver going up in heavy traffic for a tough catch. Now you got to feel badly now for the defense. That receiver just made an acrobatic catch.
Ooh, that should have been a pick.
It was Randy Moss.
That's great concentration.
It was a
by the
catch.
receiver. The defender was there, but he snagged it anyway. I'm surprised he was able to squeeze that in for a completion, Phil. When you're that close to an interception, you can almost taste it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of ghosting. That ball just going right through my defender.
I dove.
All right, guys, I need you to focus. They may have to
Whoops.
with a running back if the offensive lineman can't handle it.
Yeah, you should have had a chance after this interception, but you're not managing the clock well. You're just letting it run. Now you're throwing like garbage passes. Knockout Kings? No, I never played that game. Well, I won't say I never played it. I probably have played it, but I know I'm not into boxing games like that, so I never put time into it, that's for sure. I probably bought it as like a rental, or played it as a rental, but that's about it. LJ Brooks saying, never got the chance to play the NFL Gameday franchise. Same with NFL 2K series. Any good? This one's an easy pick up and play type game. I would say it is fun to play.
Out of a lot of football games that I've played with you, I would definitely say this is one of the more fun ones. And I usually hate playing the football games with you. Like, I actually enjoyed this. I do think it's largely in part to having passes be completed a lot, and also how quickly the game went by. Like, I felt like that was an appropriate length to play a football game.
Yeah, we racked up some yardage, as you can see. Not really rushing, but passing yards, definitely. Is this better than a 2K series? Not really, but this game doesn't do anything fancy. It does, from the menu system to playing the game, it just feels like and plays like you would expect it to. You don't really have to learn anything special. The controls are simple, straightforward. They kept them the same as their PlayStation counterparts. And there you go, Pittsburgh Steelers cheerleader.
I would say that it doesn't really excel in anything, and it hits par on all the notes, and it just ultimately comes out being fun because it's playable.
Yeah, and LJ Brooks saying, I'm used to Tecmo Super Bowl Madden, NFL Blitz, and NFL QB Club. That's another one. QB Club was a competitor to these.
That was a claim, right?
Yeah, ESPN 2K5 you can't go wrong with. It just simply gameplay, presentation, everything that went into that one is just stellar. But yeah, Gameday 2001 PlayStation. You know, being that it cost 99 cents and it just got kind of overlooked on the PlayStation 2, and it's an exclusive to the PlayStation 2. I was expecting it to be more of a dud, but I don't think it was at all. I think it's a very playable game, and if you could get it for $1, I mean, definitely got to get it. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, the NFL Fever games. That it looks better than this, but that one has a complicated control scheme unless you change the controls. And if you're just trying to pick up an old sports game and play it, I would go with this one definitely over that one. Now, if you're going to get into a game and do more with it, play a season, then you probably want to go with Fever. But otherwise, go with Gameday 2001. So that's going to do it for this match in the Retro Sports League, I again took out Matt. He's not good versus me in these football games. He did put up a good effort, though. He knew what he had to do with the Vikings, and that was throw bombs to Randy Moss. So he had that strategy down right. He's got to work on calling timeouts when you should, football type stuff, time management. He probably could have had a touchdown before the end of the half, and that would have totally changed that last drive where he would have been going for the win.
And also, if I didn't accidentally pick not field goal for the point after attempts,
Yeah.
that would have put me in better contention. But that's one of these things that they didn't figure out for a quality of life thing. On fourth down, you should just start on the special teams page.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And LJ Brooks in the chat saying, play NFL Blitz Special Edition co-op season. Don't matter what team. We do have NFL Blitz Special Edition. We could do that and play a co-op season. The thing that I've noticed with playing through seasons, I still haven't finished my ESPN NFL 2K5, which I will do soon once Matt gives me the Xbox back. It drags on longer than I would like. So I think the way to do a season like that, especially with Blitz, is just to do it as a marathon stream and just play through it.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So that is something we will keep in mind, because I love playing NFL Blitz. I mean, I got the arcade cabinet back there, so I like the game, and Special Edition would be a fun one to do it on the Nintendo 64. So thanks for the idea. Thanks everyone for chatting, checking out NFL Gameday 2001. Let us know what other sports games you'd like to see us play. I have a ton of them. I want to buy more, but I still have a back catalog of games that I'd like to play and experience, because there was so much competition, so many games out there, great variety, and didn't get a chance to play all of them. And I'm an expert on some, but some of them didn't play so much. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. We'll see you next time with Retro Sports League. Antonio Wilson, I see that. NHL 2004. I don't think I have it. I'll have to get that one. Know any good emulators? I don't know any good emulators for GameCube. And Android, yeah, I've been using the iPhone. Basically, I don't care too much about emulators on smartphones. I messed around with it, years ago when you first could do it, but it's just not that fun to play them from a touchscreen. So I don't really look into that anymore. I gotta play with the controller. I even like playing with the actual hardware. Nothing wrong with emulation, but I guess have become more of a purist over the last 5, 6, 7 years, and like to go back, play with these actual old controllers and old systems, hook them up and play that way. So like I said, thanks again for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys soon.